sitting out there. Let's make a little noise. We are finishing, culminating our 15th year in Ventura. 15 years here. Well done. 15 years of discovering Shakespeare, of playing different characters, of villains and lovers and spirits and magic spells, all of that stuff. And it's been incredible. This season, no different. Another incredible adventure with some fantastic students who just dove into this old, dusty work from Shakespeare from 400 years ago, decided to take that and play with it. Yeah, they're called plays, right? They are called plays. We are here to have fun, and we are here to share it all with you. Thank you for being here tonight and sharing it with us. You see, Shakespeare has issued a challenge to all of us. And that's what's so fun, is meeting that challenge. And you'd think that the challenge is all those withers and thithers and thous and figuring out what that strange word is that we don't use anymore. That makes it sort of hard. Figuring out how to bow to a duke, we don't do that these days, right? Figuring out how to be a witch in the forest. Any witches in here today? Oh, really? Thank you. All right. Discovering all those different worlds, that seems to be the challenge, but the real challenge underneath it all is to find out what your character loves. What your character loves. Find out what your character loves, and you find out what they're fighting for. Find out what your character loves, and you find out what they're willing to make a fool out of themselves for. Like Malvolio last night, wearing yellow stockings and prancing around because he loved his Lady Olivia. Right? Finding out what you love tells you that Rosalind is going to dress up like a man and try to test Orlando to see if he loves her back. And all of the craziness that happened in As You Like It. Once you find out what your character loves, you can be an absolute fool for that love. And that's what Shakespeare wants to see. All of us become fools for love. Sacred fools who will do anything for love. And that's no different tonight. In the Tempest, there's a father who loves his daughter so fiercely that he takes on the task of changing the entire world for her through magic. And in Romeo and Juliet, we have two who love each other so much that they too, in their own way, try to take on the entire world they live in and bring peace to it, finally. You see, once you're a fool for love, you will take on the incredible task of changing the entire world. And Shakespeare loves to see us reach for that and see what happens. Some people will succeed tonight and some people will not, and we'll see why. But in this whole path of finding out what your character loves, you've got to take a look at that world around you. You've got to find out what it is before you can change it. And our students went into that in their character diary assignments. They did a beautiful job on their homework, their character diary assignments, exploring the world around them. And I just want to share a little bit with you. The world has changed for me as well. I gave in this year. The doctor said, "So you're throwing in the towel?" I said, "Yeah." All right, so we challenged the students we have a physical environment project where we ask the students to find a scene, maybe it's the palace, and find out, how does the air smell? How does it taste? What do you hear? You go through all of your 5 senses and figure out what that environment is really like. All the stuff we don't pay attention to. Take a moment and taste the air in here right now. If you had to describe it with one word to someone who wasn't in this theater, what would that word be? Thank you. Very specific. And all you need to do is taste that mildew, and all of a sudden you can play a scene here in the theater. Because you're there. All right? And I'm sorry. students even further to actually go to a place, real place, that would remind them of the play. And so on our desert island, where we spend most of our time in Tempest, one of the students actually went to, where did she go? Marina Park Beach. Anybody know that? And she went there and she spent a good hour just in that environment, paying attention to all the things that we would normally ignore. And so she wrote this beautiful description of how cold the water was, the sand between her toes, the foamy waves coming in, and she picked up on all of that. And as she walks on stage, all of that is happening for her now, because she actually went there and did it. And that kind of commitment, that was optional, right? That type of commitment and exploration is something we truly applaud. And she finishes and says, "The visit made me feel like I was Queen Alonza stranded on an island." And that's exactly where she needs to be. But it was interesting to see how different people changed the world just through their perspective. We have another character who experienced the same island in a very different way. Clouds seem to be everywhere, even on the mushy ground. But it's so hot, I feel like I'm on the sun. These trees are unlike any I have seen before. The trunks are black as soot, and the leaves are weird shades of blue, purple, and turquoise. The leaves, although the area is wet, are dry as crackers. Puddles of soot and quicksand line the ground. "Get me out of here!" Exclamation. It's fascinating to watch them discover the world around them, and then to dive in and find the things that they absolutely love within that world, the thing they're going to hang on to while they change the rest of the world. There was a beautiful piece that was written by our nurse in Romeo and Juliet. The nurse raises Juliet herself, Lady Capulet being a little too busy for all those motherly duties. And the nurse wrote something really beautiful. She has this wonderful nostalgic moment in Juliet's bedchamber where every little thing seems to shine in a different memory of her own daughter or of Juliet. And she finally finishes and says, "Smiling, I approach the bed in the middle of the room. The beautiful sheets are draped across the bed, unmade and wrinkled. I sit on the edge of the bed and run my fingers across the feather pillows. My hand stops when I reach the pretty face. I look forward and kiss her forehead as she wakes for her day. Juliet's eyes flutter open, and I receive the brightest gift that outshines everything in this room, her smile." Once you find that thing that you love, it will drive you through the play. Once you find that thing that you love, as you know, it will drive you through your life, and you can change the world. Thank you for being so brave in your explorations. Thank you for a beautiful job on your character diaries. Well done, everyone. So let's meet our first sacred fool. His name is Prospero. Prospero was the rightful Duke of Milan. He was in charge of Milan, and while he was in charge of Milan, he was a kindly ruler. He had a little baby, his little daughter he was taking care of, Miranda. And you'll see her, she'll be carried on, and she'll sleep right there for a little while. You'll see her, because we're going to take you 16 years back so you can see the little baby Miranda before she goes out. And while he's ruling in Milan, everything's fine, except, just like with Duke Sr. last night, he's got an evil brother, Antonio. Ooh. That's right, Antonio, you're going to see the fight. He raises an army. He pulls a knife on a little baby. Right in the middle of the court, a big fight breaks out between Antonio's forces and Prospero's forces. And Antonio wins. takes the crown. Antonio takes over, drives his brother out, Prospero out, injured, to die. And Miranda is sitting there with no one to care for her, but the kindly old counselor Gonzalo runs over, saves the baby, hands her off to Prospero, and they are off in the ocean, not knowing whether or not they'll survive. But they do. They land on a magical island that is populated with magical spirits, led by a magical spirit named Ariel. You'll see her all in white, casting spells, but there are lots of other spirits on the island. They were trapped inside of trees and couldn't break out. An evil witch, Sycorax, had cast a spell, and all the spirits were stuck in trees, but Prospero learned the magic of the island, became a sorcerer, and released them all from the trees, and now they serve his bidding. So appreciative they are for having been released. The other person living on the island is a half-beast, half-man, Caliban. He's son of Sycorax, the witch. And he wanted to rule the island himself. Who's this Prospero guy who came along? But Prospero's in charge, and young Miranda has grown up. You'll see her all grown up. Well, Prospero, having gotten all these enemies back in Milan, thinks he'll never face his enemies again. Antonio, and Queen Alonza, who supported Antonio, and the Prince Sebastian, who supported the whole thing. All these enemies he thought he'd never face again, but it just so happens that they all, thank you Shakespeare, get in a ship and sail right by the magical island. How fortunate! Prospero, using his magic, casts a spell and raises a tempest. And the ship is wrecked. But Ariel is directed magically to save each one of these groups off of the ship and bring them to the island, all believing that the others have died. So here we have three groups. First, Prince Ferdinand comes to the island, thinking everyone else died. And Prospero has plans for him. He matches her with Miranda, providing her with a husband. But he has to test Ferdinand just a little bit before he Then there's the group of the royal party, the villains, Queen Alonza, Antonio, Sebastian. And he magically has Ariel come in and show them time and again how evil and rotten their hearts are. He shows it to them like holding up a mirror. And then we have the drunken butler and Trinculo the jester, Stefano and Trinculo, wandering around the island, drunk as skunks, and bumping into Caliban, who convinces them all, let's go kill Prospero. And they do. They take off on a plot to kill Prospero. Each one of these groups manipulated by Prospero until finally at the end, he assembles them all in one place. He confronts Antonio with all of his magical powers, and you know what he does? He forgives him. He forgives him. And then he gives up all his magic powers to never cast a spell again. Prospero found out that the world he wanted to create couldn't just be just. It couldn't just be orderly. He couldn't just be vengeful and get his justice. He needed a world that wasn't just about his love. He needed a world where you forgive. That's the world he wanted to give his daughters. Not just a husband, not just a place where order reigns, but a place where we forgive each other, where we give each other the benefit of the doubt, even if they rise up against us. That's the world that this sacred fool wanted to create. It starts violently, everyone, but it ends beautifully. Ladies and gentlemen, the Tempest.
think?
It pops your throat, you haven't class with so charitable dog. Work is that? We are less afraid to be down than thou art. Right here, hold! Oh!
All lost! The Paris, all lost!
Mercy on us! Mercy on us! We split!
Farewell, mother.
Farewell, brother!
Poor souls. They've perished.
Be collected. There is no harm done.
Oh, forfeit.
No harm. I've done nothing but care of thee. Thee, my dear one, thee, my daughter. 'Tis time we should inform thee further. Lend me thy hand. Pluck thy magic garment from me.
Thy
My
father
father was the Duke of Milan and Prince of Power.
Sir, are not you my father?
Thy mother was a piece of virtue, and she said thou wast my daughter.
Thy father and thy uncle called Antonio all the whereas he loved.
And to him put the government of our state, whilst I was wrapped in magic studies.
Thy false uncle.
Dost thou attend us?
Yes, most heedfully.
I pray mark me, my false brother.
He did believe he was indeed the Duke.
A treacherous army legend, one at midnight, fated to the purpose, did Antonio open the gates of Milan, and in the dead of darkness,
A light for pity.
Here a little further.
They bore you some leagues to sea.
where they repaired a rotting carcass of a boat.
Not rig nor tackle, sail nor mast.
How came we ashore?
Some food you have, and some fresh water.
Then the noble Neapolitan, Gonzalo, out of his charity did give us. And knowing I loved my books, he furnished me from mine own library.
When have I ever seen that man? And now, I pray you, sir, for still 'tis beating in my mind, your reason for raising this sea storm.
Know this spark forth.
By accident was strange.
Bountiful fortune.
Hath our enemies brought through this door.
And now here, cease more questions. Thou art inclined to sleep. Approach, my Ariel, come.
All hail, great master, the rays fair hail.
Hast thou spirits performed the point to Tempest I bade thee?
To every article, I boarded the queen's ship, and in every cabin I flamed amazement.
Why, that's my spirit, but was not this nigh shore?
Close by, my master.
But are they, Ariel, safe?
Not a hair perished.
Ariel, thy charge exactly as performed. But there is more work.
Is there more toil? Since thou dost give me pains, let me remember thee what thou hast promised, which is not yet performed me.
How now, moody? What is thou canst demand?
My liberty.
Dost thou forget from what torment I did find thee?
No.
What torment I did find thee in? Thy groans to make wolves howl and penetrate the breasts. If thou more murmurs, I'll rend an oak and peg thee in its naughty entrails, but thou hast howled away in 12 winters.
Pardon, my master. I will be correspondent to command and do my spiriting gently.
Do so, and in 2 days I will discharge thee.
That is my noble master. What shall I do? Say what? What shall I do?
Go make thyself like a nymph of the sea. Go hence with diligence. Awake, dear heart, awake. Thou hast slept well. Awake.
Strangeness of your story, heaviness in me.
Shake it off. Come. We'll visit Caliban, my slave.
'Tis a villain, sir. I do not love to move on.
But at his, we cannot miss him. He does make our fire, fetching our wood. What ho, slave Caliban?
Ah, as wicked as earth, my mother once thrust atop you full.
For this be sure, tonight thou shalt have cramps.
Thou king's first, thou strokest me, and that's much means. Wouldst give me water with berries in it, and I love thee. Curse me, I that did so, and here you saved me in this hard rock, while you keep from me the rest of the island.
I have used thee, filth as thou art, with humane care, and lodged thee in mine own cell. Tell that it seek to harm the honor of my child. Hag seize tents, fetch us in fuel, and be quick, or I'll rack thee with old cramps and make thee roar.
No prince.
So, slave, hence!
Come unto these yellow sands and then take hands. I do you have with the
should it clear. Cry, up the diddle down.
Where should this music be? In the air or the earth? No, it begins again.
Hold back and fight another life. Love is gone to follow me.
Those are pearls that were her eyes.
Nothing left to laugh of me. Sing, I'm sorry, dream is now. Ding dong. Hark, now I hear them. Ding dong. Bell.
The ditty does remember my drowned mother.
What is it? A spirit?
No, man, she eats and sleeps.
I'm a favorite thing to buy.
Oh, you wonder if you be maid or no.
No one, sir, but certainly a maid.
My language, heavens.
At first sight, they have exchanged eyes. Delicatarial, I'll set thee free from this. A word, good sir.
Why speaks my father so ungently?
One word more, I charge thee that thou hast put thyself on this island as a spy.
No, as I am a man.
There is nothing ill to go in such a temple.
Come, speak not before him. He is a traitor. Come, I'll manacle thy neck and feet together.
No, I would resist such entertainment till my enemy has more power.
Oh, dear father, beseech you, father.
Hence, hang not on my garments. You think there are no such shapes as he, having seen but him and Caliban? Oh, foolish wench. Follow me, obey.
Be of comfort, sir. My father is of better nature, but he appears by speech.
Come follow, speak not before him.
The visitor will not give her over so. Look, he's winding up the watch of his wit. By and by it will strike.
Well, I have done. But yet,
He will be talking.
here is everything advantageous to life. How look and look, grassroots, how green.
He misses not much.
My son is lost. Sarah, he will live. As I beat the sturdy under him. I'm not doubt he came alive and left. No, he's gone. It is foul weather all living. You are foul. Very foul weather?
Very foul.
And I, plantation of the style, my lady, and we're the king on it. What would I do?
God save his majesty.
I would with some perfection govern, madam, as to excel the golden age.
Long live Gonzalo.
Pretty no more. Now thus talk nothing to me. I do well believe your highness, and it is to these gentlemen who have such simple and nimble lungs that they always use to laugh at nothing.
'Twas you we laughed at.
Will you laugh me asleep? For I am very heavy. What? Also soon asleep. I wish 9 nights would. I can so share my thoughts. I find
We too, my lady, will guard your person while you take your rest and watch your safety.
Thank you, wondrous heavy. What strange drowsiness possesses me?
It is the quality of the climate.
I find out myself disposed to sleep.
Nor I. My spirits are nimble. Worthy friends, my strong imagination sees a crown dropping upon my head.
Where art thou waking?
Will you bear with me that Ferdinand is drowned?
He's gone.
Then tell me, who is next heir of Naples. Do you understand me?
He thinks I do. I remember you did supplant your brother Prospero.
True. And look how well my garments sit on me. Here lies your sister, no better than the earth she lies upon. If she were that, which now she like, that's dead. Mine. With this obedient deal, 3 inches of it can lay to bed forever. Whilst you, doing thus,
As no gods move on, I shall come by Naples, and I the king shall love thee.
draw together. And when I rear my hand, do you like to follow on all the rest.
My master, through his art, foresees the danger that you and his friends are in, and sends them forth.
Open eye conspiracy. It is time to update. Shake up number everywhere. Oh wait.
Then let us all be sudden.
Look, the air comes preserve the plane. Oh, wait.
Why, how now? Why are you drawing?
What's the matter?
Even now you're getting hollow burst of bellowing.
Like bulls, or rather, lions. Did not wake you.
I do nothing.
Oh, it was a din to frighten a monster deer.
To make an earthquake.
Sure, it was a roar of a whole herd of lions.
Lead off this ground. Let's make further straight for my son.
Prospero, my lord, shall know that I am dead. So please, go safely on to seek thy son.
my meat hath to be of heavy to me to owe you, but the mistress which I serve quickens what's dead, and makes my labors pleasures. Oh, she is 10 times more gentle than her father's craft, and he is composed of harkness. I must remove some 1,000 of these logs, and pile them up upon a sword junction. My sweet mistress weeps if she sees me work.
Work not so hard. Pray, set it down and rest you. Pray, give me that. I'll carry it to the pile.
No, friend, creature. I'd rather crack my teeth, break my back, and construct this honor under while I sit lazy by.
You become me as well as you.
Poor worm, thou art infected.
You look weird.
No, Brenda. 'Tis fresh morning from your eye. What is your name?
Brenda.
I admire Brenda. So perfect and so fearless, our creative ever creature's best.
I've not wished any companion in the world to you.
Oh, heaven, oh earth. Hear my soul speak. The very instant that I saw you, did my heart fly to your service, and for your sake I am with patient long.
Do you love me?
Oh, heaven, oh earth. Bear witness to this sound. Do love, prize, honor you.
There encounter two most rare affections. Heaven rain grace on that which breathes between them.
I am your wife, if you were married.
My mistress dearest, and I thus humble as her.
My husband then?
Aye, here's my hand.
And mine. And now farewell.
1,000,000.
Look how he mocks me. Wilt thou let him, my lord?
Tranquilo, keep a good tongue in your head, poor monsters. My subject, and she shall not suffer indignity.
I think, my noble lord, wilt thou be pleased to hearken once again to the suit I made to thee?
Mary, look. Kneel and appeal.
As I told thee before, I am subject to eternity. Sorcerer Bite has coming, has cheated me on my island.
Thou liest.
Thou liest, thou joust monkey, thou, my valiant master, would destroy thee. I do not lie.
Tranquilo, interrupt the monster one word further in his tale, and by this hand also plant some of your teeth. I see nothing. None then, and no more. Proceed.
I say by sorcery he got this isle.
Canst thou bring him to the party?
Yeah, my lord. I will yield him a seat. Where's thou snuck a nail to his head?
Thou liest. Thou canst not.
Tranquilo, run into no further danger. Interrupt the monster one word further, and by this hand I'll turn my mercy out of yours and make us stop. Why, what did I said nothing. I'll get further off. Didst thou not say he lied?
Thou liest.
Do I so teach thou that? I do not give the lie. Out of your wits and hearing too. Now further with your tale. Prithee, stand farther off.
As I told you before, 'tis a custom with him, if the afternoon to see, where thou hast brave him, and most deeply to consider is the beauty of his daughter.
Monster, I will kill this man. His daughter and I will be king and queen. Simba. And Tranquilo and thyself shall be viceroys. Dost thou like the plot, Tranquilo? What? Dost thou like the plot, Tranquilo? What? Dost thou like the plot, Tranquilo? Excellent! Give me thy hand, I'm sorry.
Within this half hour he will be asleep. Wilt thou destroy him then?
Aye, on mine honor.
This I will tell my master.
Come on, Tranquilo, let us sing. Flower and scatter and powder, that is free.
That's not the tune.
That's to play my picture of nobody. If thou beest a man, show thyself in thy likeness. If thou beest the devil, take this thou list. Oh, forgive me my sins.
Do not be afraid. This isle's full of noses.
Please, Mom, we'll follow. The noise is going away, and after let us do our work. Oh Lord, I cannot blame thee. Even here I will put off my hope. He is drowned. He must be straight fine. Well, let him go. What harmony is this? My good friend's heart. Oh, sweet.
They vanished strangely.
You are mean men of sin, whose destiny will never succeed, have cause to belch you out. You fools! If you could hurt, your swords are now too massive for your traits, and will not be lingering congregation shall step by step attend you and your ways.
In the name of something holy, now, what stand you in this strange air? Oh, it is monstrous, monstrous. Methought the billows spoke and told me of it. The winds did sing it to me, and the thunder, and it would prosper it did ask my trespass. But one thing at a time, I'll fight your legions over.
I'll play second.
Ah!
All of them are desperate. Their grief, guilt, now begins to fight the spirits. I shall follow them and hinder them. The root this ecstasy may now provoke them.
God to austerely punish you, your compensation makes amends. For I have given you here a third of my own life. Here, afore heaven, I ratify this my rich gift. Thou shalt find your loud step all praise and make a halt behind her.
I do believe it against an oracle.
Then sit atop of her, she is thine own. Why, Teriel, my industrious servitorial?
Welcome to my court, master. Here I am.
Go bring a rabble, for whom I give thee power.
Presently,
I with a twink.
before you can say come and go, breathe twice and cry so.
Ceres most bounteously with thy rich lays of wheat, rye, barley, vetches, oats, and wheat. The king of the sky and watery ark and messenger am I. Bids thee leave these in this sovereign grace, in this grass plot, in this very place. He comes to watch his peacocks fly main. Approach, Ceres, men to entertain.
I know many colored mess
Caliban, his confederates, against my life. The minute of their plot is almost come. Well done, avoid no more.
This is strange. Your father's compassion at work so strongly.
Never since day I saw him touched with anger so his temper.
Be cheerful, sir. Our revels are now ended. We are such stuff as dreams are made of, and our little life is rounded with sleep. Sir, I am vexed. If you please retire.
We wish your peace.
Come with a thought. I thank thee, Ariel. Come.
I felt like you too. What is thy pleasure?
Spirits, we must prepare to meet with Caliban. That shape invisible, retain thou still. The trumpery in my house, go bring it hither. It will stale to catch these things.
I go.
I will plague them all, even to Rory. Come, hang him on this line.
Pretty White King, be quiet. Cease down here. We are now near us all.
Monster, you're a fairy, which you say is a harmless fairy, has been little better than with the jack with us.
Monster, I do smell horse, from which my nose is in great indignation.
Pretty White King, be quiet. Cease down here. This is the mouth of the cell. No noise and enter.
Give me
Do that good mischief which may make this isle die. All forever. And I like Calvin, and I like foot wicked.
Give me thy hand. I do begin to have funny thoughts.
Oh, Stefano, where is Stefano? King Stefano, look at the wardrobe here is for thee.
Tricky will put up that gown. By this hand, I'll have that gown.
Let alone to do the murder first. If you wait from toe to crown, he will fill our skins with pictures, make it strange stuff.
Monster, lay to your face. Hope to bear this to where my hogs head are white. Don't you? Here it is.
And this.
I am this.
Hey, mountain head.
Silver! I bear no silver.
You're there, hark. Go, charge my goblins, that they grind their joints to dry compulsion, shorten up their sinews with age cramps.
Hello! Hark, they roar.
Let them be heaven sound. In this hour, light my mercy all mine enemies. Say, my spirit, how fares the king and his followers?
Just as you left them. They're all prisoners. They cannot budge to release them. But if you beheld them now, your affections would become tender.
Dost thou think so, spirit?
Mine would, were I human.
And mine shall. Go release them, Ariel. My charms I'll break, their senses I'll restore, and they shall be themselves.
I'll fix them, sir.
Ye elves, hills, brooks, standing lakes, and groves, by whose aid I bedimmed the noontide sun, called forth the mutinous winds entwixt the green sea, and azure vault set the roaring war. Rays at my command awaken their sleepers, hoped, and led them forth by my so cozy thought. But at this rough magic I hear adjourn, and when I have required some heavenly music, which even now I do, I'll break my staff, bury it certain fathoms in the earth, and deeper than ever plummet sound, I'll drown my voice. Their stay, for your spell stuff. Holy Gonzalo, I will pay thy graces home and both word and deed. Most cruelly did thou, Alonza, use me, my daughter. Thy brother was a further. Thou art a pitchfork now, Sebastian. Flesh and blood, you brother of mine, that entertained ambition, would you have killed your king? I do believe thy rank is false. You require my duty. Their understanding begins to swell.
In Tempest Crossroad, give us particulars of their preservation. How thou hast met us here, who 3 hours since were left upon the shore, where I have lost for years and eternity.
I am woeful, for I have lost a daughter.
A daughter? When did you lose your daughter?
Oh, in this last tempest.
Sweet lord, you play me false!
No, my dear soul, I would not for the world.
If this movement of the island 1 year 7 July twice lose. It was high miracle.
Though the sea strands they are merciful, I have cursed them without thought.
Now all the blessings of the wise are the compass me about.
Oh, wonder! How many goodly creatures are there here? How beauteous mankind is! Oh, bravely world that is such people in it!
'Tis no goodie. What is this maid with whom thou wast at play?
She is daughter to this famous Duke of Milan, of whom so often I have heard renowned.
I should have spoken ere this. Look down, gods, on this couple travel pleasant ground.
I say amen, Gonzalo.
Oh, man! Oh, man!
Our ship, which but 3 lands since we gave out split, is tight in gear and bravely grinning as when we first put out to sea.
Sir, all this service I have done since I went.
Bravely my diligence, thou shalt be free. Send Caliban and his companions here. Presently, I pray thee. How now, my gracious madam? There are yet some missing of your company. Some few odd lads you remember not. This misshapen knave, his mother was a witch, and one so strong, these 3 have brought me, and this ditty devil had plotted with them to take my life.
I shall be pinched to death!
It's not it Stefano, my drunken butler. He's drunk now? Where had he wine?
And Virgil's reeling right!
This is a strange thing as ere I looked on.
Go, Sirrah, to my cell. As you look to have my pardon, trim it handsomely.
Aye, that I will, and I'll be wise hereafter and seek for grace. When thrice till last was I to take this drunkard as a god.
Go to, away! I will bring you to your ship, and so to Naples, where I hope to see the nuptial of our dear beloved Sophocles, and hence retire to my Milan, where every 3rd thought shall be my grave. My Ariel, ship, to the elements be free, and fare thou well. Now my charms are o'erthrown, and what strength I have left is my own, which is most faint. Since I have my dukedom got, and pardoned the deceiver, well, in this fair isle by your spell, but release me from my bands by the help of your good hands. As you would from criminals be, let your indulgence set me free.
To balance all that tragedy, all that anger, and all that silliness is at the same time. You did a beautiful job. Well done. We would like to thank each and every one of you. So one by one, please step forward, give us your name and the parts that you played, and we will be happy to applaud. Start us off, Ariel.
I'm Juliana Koch. I play Ariel and a random guy that died.
Dakota, I play Trinculo, Jester, and Iris' spirit. I'm Malik, and I play Stefano, medicine, and extra spirit.
I'm Carly, and I play Ferdinand, the prince, and the spirit.
I'm Anna, and I play Miranda, a spirit, and a random guy that dies.
I'm Mia, I play the Queen of Naples, and Juno, a spirit. I'm Jackson, and I play Sebastian, and
Jim, and I play Caliban and Sirius. I'm Sam, and I play Gonzalo and one scene in Venice.
My name is Max Williams, and I play Prospero.
My name is Noah Ace, and I played Sirius for one scene part, and Spirits and Antonio.
Well done, Tempest. Take another bow. And a hand for our flower girl.